welcome to Little Scribbles. In this video I'll be showing you how to make this headband. Now it's pretty simple. First of all, you will need some fabric. Now it needs to be some sort of chiffon fabric, not cotton. 100% cotton will just burn. You need to use something with synthetic materials in it, so then when you do singe the edges it melts rather than burns. You will need a headband, which you can find on eBay or all over the internet really. You will need ribbon, the size of your headband preferably. Now this ribbon will go on top of the headband like so with a bit of double-sided tape. You will also need some scissors, a torch, or you can use a candle or a lighter. You will also need a needle and thread. Now I'm using dark thread so you guys can see it better, but obviously try and match it to the color of your fabric. You will need a felt circle. Now you can just buy a large piece of felt and cut a circle, or you can find these all over eBay also. You will need your embellishment. This is very important. You can use any embellishment. It just adds a bit of bling, it catches the eye, and as you can see it just ties everything together, the whole look. It looks brilliant, so very important. Oh, and hot glue gun. Okay, let's get started. So first of all, what you're going to do is going to take your fabric. You're going to cut a square. Now, the size of your square, pretty much whatever size you want your rose, that's the size of your square. So the bigger the square, the bigger the petals on the rose. The smaller the square, the smaller the petals on the rose. So my rose requires a square about that big, maybe 4 centimeters, 4 by 4. You're going to grab your square and you're going to cut a rough circle to an oval, more of an oval. It doesn't have to be neat, just something rough, just like that, because you're going to be singeing the edges and you won't be seeing those rough corners anyway. So once you've got your circle, you need to grab your lighter or your candle or this lighter, this is a torch, sorry, and start singeing the edges. Now I like to use a torch because it is easier. Alright, so let's get started. You just flick it a little and you can see my petal is starting to curl in on itself like so, and this gives it a more natural look. It's just melted the edges, pretty much all it's done. Now if you're going to use a normal lighter, which is not really recommended because anyone that's held a lighter for a long time knows it does get very hot, so it had to be really quick. But if you are going to opt out for this option, all you do is you just flick the flame over the fabric like that. Not sure if you guys can see. And that will slowly but surely curl the edge of your fabric. Candle, same sort of difference, only that you're not going to be holding the candle, so I suppose it is a better option than the lighter because it's not going to burn you, but same sort of difference. Just flick the flame on the edge of the fabric, give you that curling effect. Now you have to be careful with this one because you can burn the edge of your fingers, and it does melt it quite quickly. Anyway, I recommend using a torch. They're very cheap, not very expensive at all. And there's your first petal. See how it looks very natural? Now you're going to need about 15 of these to get a rose as full as mine. Obviously if you want a fuller rose, use more petals. Likewise, opposite way as well. When you do cut out your circles for your roses, they do not need to be the same size. You can have smaller, you can have larger, just depending on what you like your rose to look like. Because obviously in a real rose, the smaller petals are in the middle and the larger petals are on the outside. Okay, so once you've got your petals, which I have some here I prepared earlier, you need to sort out your petals. The larger ones will go obviously on the bottom. So we're just going to grab a petal and do sort of like an overlap, underlap technique. So overlap, underlap, overlap, underlap. And you just sort of go around the whole rose using that technique. So overlap, underlap, overlap, underlap, and overlap. Once you have completed the outside of your rose, just reposition your petals so then you don't have any petals sticking out or any bold spots like mine. And then you just use the remainder of your petals to fill in the middle. So it doesn't matter how you do that, you just go around a circle and you just add them, give it more of a fuller rose look. This makes it look more natural. The petals do not need to be straight or perfect. If you've ever looked at a rose up close, which most of you have, they're not perfect. They are beautiful, but they are not perfect. So you can have it as messy as you like and it will still look great. Once you have done that, hold on to it very tightly in the middle. This is important for your petals not to move. Otherwise you're going to have to start that process all over again. So once you've done that, hold on to it, grab your needle and thread, which I've tied a big fat knot on the end to act as a stopper when I put my thread through. So what you want to do is get your needle through all those layers. This bit is a little tricky, try not to stab yourself. There are so many layers, but just push it through like that, pull your thread through, and then just keep looping it in and out to secure your petals. It does work better if you use a thinner needle. I've used a thick one, so it's a little harder to get it through. And then you just go in and out. Now the other option is hot glue. You can hot glue each petal in place separately, but again, not recommended because it does add a lot of weight to your flower. And obviously it's going to be going on your head and you do not want something heavy on your head all day long. So needle and thread. Just have to be a little patient. Bear with me. Oh. Just make sure you don't have any crazy knots building up, because that is another problem. Knots do build up. So just a few stitches will do. Oh gosh. And there you have it. So you can see my dark thread. I've just sort of gone in and out, likewise here. And then what you're going to do with this to secure it in place is you're going to get your needle go through one of the loops, don't pull it all the way, go through that and create a knot. See what I've done? I've created a knot, and then when I pull on it, there we go, secured it in place. Again, pop it through one of the loops, pop it through your big loop, and just pull slowly, like that. You don't need to do that twice. And there you have your rose. Now, the fun part, the embellishment. Remember, this makes your rose, you need to have an embellishment. So what you do is just you pop a little bit of hot glue on your embellishment. I like to use hot glue. I find it secures it a lot better. I mean, you can thread it through, but it is tough to get through all those layers. So you just pop it on like that, press it firmly in place, make sure it's really stuck in there, and there you have your finished flower. This is what your finished flower will look like. Very simple, right? Now you pop that aside, and what you do is you grab your headband, your double-sided tape, and your ribbon. Now, all these three materials need to be roughly around the same size. So if you've got a thin headband, you need to have a thin piece of ribbon and thin double-sided tape, which double-sided tape you can find at your local Spotlight if you're in Australia, or a hardware store anywhere else. Right, and then you just add double-sided tape over there, and you just secure it in place like that. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to make this headband slightly different. I am going to use some elastic. This is fold over elastic. It's amazing. It's super stretchy, so it fits from newborn to adult. So all sizes. Very, very stretchy, very soft, perfect for new heads. It's great. So all you're going to do with your fold over elastic, which is to use fold over elastic, which you can get from eBay again, is you're going to grab your felt circle. You're going to pop glue on your felt circle. So you're going to need quite a bit, the whole width of the circumference of your circle. You're going to pop your elastic right side up onto it. Be careful not to get the rest of the elastic, only that bit. Press it down a little. Be careful not to burn yourself. Hot glue is very hot. And then what you're going to do is add a little bit more glue on top of the elastic. And carefully place your flower on top here. Carefully press it down. Flip it over if you like. And then just sort of secure it. Be careful, because you can have hot glue spill out from the sides and burn you. It's happened to me before many times, and it hurts. So once you've done that, you wait a minute or so for the glue to cool down, and there you have your headband. Fantastic and very easy, can be worn all day long, very comfy. Felt circle means there are no harsh materials on your skin, can be worn on babies, adults. It works better with the metal headband if you're making it for yourself. This one is for children that I've made. It will be up on my site for purchase. Now there is only one, the one that I'm making that I've made in this tutorial. So if you like this headband, be quick, snap it up nice and quick, as I do not repeat designs. Hence also why I've used this ribbon elastic rather than the metal headband here. I like to keep my products unique. If you guys like my tutorial, please subscribe to my channel and head on over to littlescribbles.com.au where you can shop my full range of unique products made with a ton of love. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.